Hi, I'm April Plank, and thank you for joining me for today's reformer class. In today's class, I'm going to start with a long box on, and I've got my ring. We're not going to start with that, so we'll just set it off to the side. I've got my foot bar up, and I have one blue spring to start. So we're going to start seated on the box, facing your tower, if you have the tower, and you're going to reach forward and grab onto the tape. So I'm going to have the tape in my hands. Just taking a nice moment here to settle into the reformer, sitting up nice and tall, feeling my shoulders draw down and back, feeling my abdominals draw deep in towards my spine. And we're going to start today with just a little articulation of the spine. So take a nice inhale, and then you're just going to exhale and just start to roll yourself back, one vertebrae at a time. And just round back as far as feels good for you. So don't go so far that it feels like you're going to topple over. So you're just going as far as comfortable. And you're going to round your spine and just slowly roll yourself up into that nice C curve, and then lengthen through the crown of the head, reaching the head towards the ceiling to end. And we'll do that again. So exhale slowly, roll your spine back, lengthening through the low back. And then inhale as you round your spine and come back up. So your exhale is through the mouth, through those pierced lips. Every time you exhale, you're pulling those abdominals in tighter. And then you're inhaling nice and deep through the nose, lifting the heart, lifting through the spine. And do that 2 more times. Exhale, scoop and roll. And right now, the spring weight's just kind of holding you. So it's an assistance as you do this roll back, keeping you from rolling back too quickly. And this will be your last one. Exhale, scoop and roll back. And then you're going to inhale and stack your spine. Now we're going to work on keeping the spine mobile and work through the arms. So you're just going to take the arms straight back, pulling them right beside you, and then bringing them back just to the hip height. So try not to come too far forward. You're just coming forward right to in line with the hips, and then exhale, pulling back. So I'm focusing on my shoulders staying down and back, my ribs drawing in, my belly button pulling in, and really finding that length through the whole body, back of the line, back of the neck nice and long. Good. Just 2 more to go like that, and then we'll go back to our scoop and roll position. So in this warm-up, we're just really alternating between the abdominal warm-up and the arm warm-up. So back to the abdominals. So you're going to round your spine and roll yourself back. This time I want you to hold it there where it feels comfortable. You're really pulling the ribs towards the hips, and then take your right leg up to tabletop and set it back down. So you're thinking of that leg lifting up with the abdominals doing the work. So you're pulling that belly button into the spine as you lift the leg, and then gently bring it back down. Exhale as you lift, inhale down. My shoulders are staying down my back. Good. Nice job, you guys. You've got 1 more on each side, right and left. And then set both feet down, roll yourself all the way up, lengthen the spine, sit up tall. Now this time the arms are going to bend out to a T, so I'm going to pull my arms towards my armpits and then release forward. So it's an exhale as you pull, and inhale as you release. I like to glue my legs together, almost like I'm squeezing the legs, and that's just going to help keep everything, all my energy drawing in towards the midline. That's going to help you with your posture too, so you're thinking of everything engaging and you're sitting up nice and tall. Good, because this is really the warm-up to get our posture muscles engaged, our back of our body engaged. And we'll do that 1 more time. And then back to our rolling. So arms go straight, pull the belly button to the spine, scoop and roll yourself back. This time you're going to lift one leg up to tabletop and then lift the other up to meet it. So I'm going to give you 2 options. You can stay right here. This is option 1. Option 2 is just you're going to start to tap those toes down and pull the toes back up. Now if this feels like it's too much in your back, then definitely omit this and just hold the tabletop position. This just makes it a little bit more challenging, but again, as always, I want you to listen to your body, do what feels good for you today. You don't want to overdo it. Good, last 2 to go. And 1 more. Good, then we'll set those feet down, roll yourself all the way up and sit up tall. You can hang those straps up. I think our back and our abs are warmed up enough, so you're gonna step off and just take, actually we're gonna lay back down. I wanna warm up the abs even more, so we're gonna lay all the way down. I can't forget this part. It's like my favorite ab exercises, all our mat work. So you're laying down. I have my head on the foot bar. This is why I had the foot bar up, so that my neck is supported. And then I'm gonna lift both legs into tabletop. All right, so I'm here in this position. If you feel comfortable in the neck, you can always lift the head. I'm gonna keep mine down today. Take your right knee into your chest and then extend your left leg. So you're gonna pull that right knee in as you're bringing that left leg nice and long, and then we're gonna switch. And every exhale is your switch. So it's exhale, switch, and exhale, switch. Hopefully you'll thank me that I didn't forget this part. So this is our traditional mat series that we would do on the, our series of 5 is what it's called, or the abdominal series. If you've taken a lot of mat classes, you probably see this quite a bit in the repertoire. I do like to do it here on the reformer, and I like to do it in this position because the head is supported. Now, if you're fine with lifting the head, then you can definitely do this with the head lifted. For me, that's a little bit too much on my neck, so I like to keep my head down and just support it on that foot bar. Good. I want you to do 1 more on each side, right and left, and then bring both legs into tabletop and then pull the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Now for our double leg stretch, both legs are going to go out towards the shoulder blocks and your arms are going to go over your head. And then as you exhale, you pull everything back and give yourself a hug. So if you're feeling this as discomfort in your back, then I would take the legs a little bit higher, and that's going to take any discomfort out of the back. So the higher the legs go, the less pressure you're going to feel. If you want more challenge, then certainly you can bring those legs even farther down. Good. And again, you can always lift the head, and that's going to incorporate a little bit more through the upper abdominal area. It might make it a little bit more challenging, but again, as always, you don't want to sacrifice pain and discomfort in your neck just to work the abdominals. So again, for me, I'm keeping my head down, and you can do what feels good for you. Last 4. Nice strong inhale to send you out. Exhale to circle and pull in. 2 more to go. Last one, and then pull in. Now our third exercise is single leg straight. So your right leg's gonna reach up to the ceiling, you're gonna grab behind your hamstring or calf, and then your left leg's gonna reach out. Now I like doing this on the box because I can really lower my extended leg and get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch, if that's comfortable for you. If not, keep it a little higher. So I'm gonna pull that right leg in 2 times, and then I'm gonna switch and pull the left leg in 2 times. So it's an exhale, pull, pull, and an exhale, pull, pull. Again, you have the option of lifting the head if that's available for you. Exhale, pull, pull, and exhale, pull, pull. Now as I'm pulling one leg in towards my chest, I'm sending the other leg out and away and pulling it down and down. So both legs are pulsing away from each other. So it's a pulse, pulse, and a pulse, pulse. We'll do 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring both legs up to the ceiling, and then just bring them to a slight turnout, heels together, toes apart. 2 options. Hand can come behind the head, and you'll lift your head, neck, and shoulders. I'm going to go with option 2. Head's going to stay down. I'm just going to hold on to the foot bar with my hands. On the inhale, I'm sitting my legs away, and you're just going as far as you can maintain your pelvic stability, and then you exhale and lift up. What that means, if I'm going really far down, I'm starting to arch my back, and I'm feeling my spine move, then I know I've gone a little bit too far. And everybody's range of motion is a little bit different, so you just want to focus on what feels good for you, and going in a range of motion where you can maintain stability from the head to the tailbone and move through the legs. Inhaling, really reaching those legs nice and long, and exhaling as you squeeze them back up to the ceiling. Really focus on that belly button pulling into the spine as you exhale, feeling those abdominals sink towards the box. This will be your last one. And then you'll pull it back up to tabletop for our last exercise. And for this one, I will lift my head. So I'm going to take my hands behind the head to support my neck. I'm looking right to my belly button. My elbows are really wide. Send your left leg out. Take your left shoulder over to the right knee and pulse 2 times. And then switch. So I'm pulse and switch. And I like to exhale on those pulses. Inhale is an active switch. So I exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Good, and that straight leg is going to be about 45 degrees. If you want it more challenging, certainly take that straight leg lower. Less challenging, easier on the back, take that straight leg higher. You're doing a really great job. We have 4 more, and then we're done with this abdominal series. So glad I didn't forget it. I almost did. Last 2. And last 1. Pull your knees in, rest your head down, give your low back a stretch. And now you can roll yourself all the way up and off the reformer. All right, so now we're going to make our change. So you're going to turn your box to short box, put it up against the shoulder blocks. Take your ring, just place it on the box so you've got it, and then put your foot bar all the way down. I'm going to switch to a red spring. So all we've been working on so far is a blue, so now we're on a red. The first thing you want to do is step up on the stable surface, and then you can step up on the moving surface. Grab onto your ring and take the ring into your hands. So I'm going to draw my shoulders down my back, pull or kind of push into that ring like I'm sliding my armpits down and together. On the inhale, I'm going to take the carriage out as far as comfortable. On the exhale, I'm going to really zip my legs together and squeeze into that ring. Inhale as you push, and exhale, squeeze together. Good, so now we're going to start to warm the legs up a little bit more. Get the inner thighs and outer thighs engaged. Primarily right now we're working outer thighs. So I want you to think about right through those glute med. You're pushing out, and then you're resisting as you pull in. And every time you pull in, you're taking a big exhale and you're squeezing that ring. And you might be able to see a little bit better what I'm doing with my shoulders when I turn around. But I'm trying to draw my shoulders down, squeeze my elbows right into my waist, and think of my posture. So I'm standing nice and tall the whole time. Do that one more time, inhaling out and exhaling in. Now we're going to keep the carriage in and just go into some squats. So when you squat back, reach the ring forward, and then inhale, stand nice and tall. So on these squats, I'm really bringing my weight back into my heels. My toes could probably lift if they needed to. Most of my weight is back into my heels and back in my hips. Like I'm just sitting back into that imaginary chair and then resisting back up. Whatever breath works for you on this is fine. I'm going to take an inhale as I go down, exhale as I lift, but you may feel that the opposite feels better. So as always, the breath is more of a tool to facilitate the movement versus a rule, and it doesn't have to stay the same for everybody. Everyone's a little different. Good. So I'm going to do that 2 more times, pressing the ring, resisting it up. 1 more time, press and resist. Now go back down into your squat and hold it. This time the arms are bent, squeezing the elbows in. Put most of my weight in my left leg, and my right leg is going to be the pusher. And if I can stay really low here, I'm going to work even more through the legs. So I'm challenging myself to stay low in my squat as I push the leg out and in. I'm going to give you a second option, but it's going to incorporate a little more balance, a little rotation of the spine. So if you find it's too much, because this can be scary for some people to be standing up here, then don't go into the second option. So you can stay right here doing the same thing, or when you push out, you're going to rotate to the left. When you come in, you rotate back. So you're just rotating away from the box and then back to the midline. Good, so this is going to work our proprioception, like knowing where our body is in space, working our balance, Anytime you change your gaze, you have to work a lot more of your small stability muscles. And it's also working our abdominals, our rotator muscles. So a lot of great stuff here. Last 2 to go. And 1 more. Now come back to the center, hold that deep squat, put my weight in my right foot, and now your left leg's gonna send you out. And I find for a lot of people, this is even more challenging because now our weight is moving with us over this moving surface. So it takes a little bit more control, a little more coordination. So if you can just think of your right leg holding most of your weight as your left leg pushes you out and in, I think that'll help you with the exercise. Again, shoulders back, ribs in, squeeze those elbows tight. Always lots going on. Again, I'm going to give you a second variation with that twist. You choose to take it or stay exactly where you are. So here we're going to start with that twist to the right this time. So you're going to twist to the right and then bring it back. So now you're twisting the same direction that you're moving. Now hopefully I'm doing a good job demonstrating that the twist is coming from your waist and not your hips. So I'm trying to shine my hips straight forward as I rotate my waist and my rib cage. So hopefully I'm doing that. That's my goal. Last 3. And 2. 1 more, nice and deep, really squat as deep as you can, come all the way in and finally come out of that squat. Okay, you're gonna bend down and put the yellow spring, you have it, the lightest spring you have, and then take your red off. So now we're at 1 yellow. So this is gonna work inner thighs. I'm gonna take the ring and put it between my ankles, and I'm gonna slide my feet so my toes are a little bit off to help me grip. So the carriage is gonna go out very easy. You don't have many springs. You'll have 1 yellow that's helping you. So I'm gonna stand up tall, shoulders down the back, let the carriage go out 1 inch. I don't wanna lose that ring, and then squeeze the ring together. So this is more of a focus on pulling in with the carriage versus pushing the carriage out. So it's an active squeeze in and a passive release. Active squeeze in and a passive release. So really squeeze the inner thighs. The inner thighs are connected to all those pelvic floor muscles. So it's like I'm taking my pelvic floor and lifting it up and in the whole time. So I'm squeezing pelvis in and up as I'm squeezing inner thighs. Good. Still working on my posture, shoulders down, crown of the head to the ceiling. Arms are just resting right to the sides. Hopefully you're feeling this as much as I am. I've done this a few days in a row and my inner thighs have been on fire. Last 3, last 2, and hold your next one in and give me little pulses, just tiny in, focus on in, and in, and in. Good, really squeezing up and in, 3, 2, and 1, good. Now reach down and just put the ring to the side so that you can grab it later. Put your blue spring on now. So I'm at a blue spring and I'm gonna take my yellow spring off. Before we do the other side, we're gonna do a little plank intermission. So you're gonna turn to your box, put your feet onto the sticky surface or the gray surface, and then put your elbows on the box, push all the way out and drop the hips into the plank. So find that straight line, push back through the heels, pull your abdominals in, draw your shoulders back. You can look right out in front of you. I kind of like to look to the headrest. We're gonna do 8 of 3 different things. So the first thing we're gonna do is push the elbows out and in. Now I did say 8, so sometimes I lose track of my counting. So you can count on your own if I'm not doing a good job and just do 8 of them, because I do lose track sometimes. And you can always take a break between the 3 sets. So we've got 3 things we're doing. You should be right around 8. This should be about 8 right here. And then the second one you're gonna do is bend the knees in towards the box and then push the legs back out. Now every exhale is gonna help me engage my abdominals, pulling that corset tight, abs are really strong. Coming up on 8, you're doing a really great job. Stick with it. We're almost there. We have one last exercise to do. Hold your plank. Now you're going to pike your hips up and then bring your hips back down. Pike it up and back down. Nice work. 3 more to go. Last 2. And last 1. Awesome job. Bring it all the way in and rest for a moment. All right, we're going to revisit that after the other side one more time. Okay, so I'm going to turn to my back to you and come up to our skating series. So I'm going to put back on the red spring, take the blue off. So I am at 1 red spring. Grab onto your ring. And now you might be able to see a little bit more what's happening in my arms. So I'm going to hold the ring at my chest, squeeze into the ring, draw my elbows into my armpits. And then inhale as you push the carriage out with straight long legs, and exhale, resist it in. Now my heart rate got up pretty high, I feel like, for those planks. So I'm going to spend some time here taking some big breaths, oxygenating the body, the muscles. And just bringing my focus back to my breathing. So inhaling as you extend all the way out. Exhale, put a little pressure on that ring, squeeze the elbows in, draw the armpits down and together. So I'm really trying to incorporate those lats, those long muscles that run down the back of the body. We've got 3 more here of the pushing out and in. And then the next time I want you to hold it in, put most of the weight in your heels as you squat back, reach the arms forward with the ring, and then stand back up and squeeze the legs in. So it's like you are squeezing and hugging those leg muscles in towards the bone. The more you can be active through the legs, the more work you're going to create. So everything we're doing is with intention and focus. We're only doing about 8 of each rep, so 8 of the best reps you can do, and then we move on. You can do 8 of anything. Last 3, as long as I count right, maybe 10. That's okay, around 8. 1 more. Good. Now sink back into your squat, draw your elbows in, pull your ribs in, put your weight in your right leg, and the left leg's going to go out. So you have about 80% of that weight in your right leg. You're exhaling this time to push the carriage out, pushing into the ring, squeezing that belly button to spine. Remember, we did 2 options on the other side. We'll repeat those 2 options here. So you can stick with this for your next set of 8, or you can add that twist to the right. So you twist the torso to the right, and you pull it back in. Twist it to the right, and back in. Keep really low through those hips. As you get tired, I see most people start to come up high through the hips, but you want to keep it down low. You've got 2 more to go. Really challenge those legs. Mine are on fire. 1 more, come back to the center, sink down low, put the weight in your left leg, send the right leg out. Again, squeeze the ring every time you push out. And it's a drawing back of the shoulders. So it's not really like you're squeezing and pulling the shoulders forward. You're drawing the shoulders back, opening the heart, and drawing your lats. So if you have that intention of squeezing with the back of the body. 3 more to go, and then you have that option of sticking with this or adding your twist. 1 more to go, sink even lower if you can. Now twist to the left this time. So you're going to add that twist and rotate, and then back, sink low. Twist and rotate, back, sink low. I try to alternate exercises between legs and arms. All of my workouts are full body, so we are almost done with this little leg segment, and then we're going to go back to the arms. So this is your last one. Come all the way in, and now you can stand, giving those legs a rest. but we're not done. So you're gonna take the ring, put it between your ankles, switch to a yellow spring, take the red spring off, and then I like to slide my toes off a little bit to grip, standing really tall. Now your focus is on the pulling in of the ring. So passively going out, actively squeezing it. Think of that string lifting you up from the crown of the head. Think of your inner thighs, squeezing them tight, releasing them. Pelvic floor, pull in and release. Pull in and release. The more you can use the breath, the more you're going to activate those abdominal muscles, the more you're going to get out of your workout. So don't be afraid to breathe. 3 more. Good. 2 more full range. So we've got those little tiny pulses coming up. And then we'll take a break with the legs. So here we go. Last little hold. Pulse it. 8, 7. You got it. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Good. Okay, take that ring away. Just set it to the side. You're going to need it in a second. And then put your blue spring on. Take your yellow off. I told you we're going to do another set of planks, and now we are. So I'm also giving you 2 different options. So come to your elbows, push all your way out to your plank. So we have those 3 things that we did before. We're going to repeat those 3 with an extra option if you want. So for the first one, you can have both legs down, or you can lift the right leg up, and then you're going to push out and in with the elbows. Now, if you're choosing to lift your right leg up, you're only doing 4 with the right leg lifted. Then you're going to switch, lower the right leg, lift the left leg, and do 4 more. If you're choosing to keep both feet down, you're just doing 8 total. After you've done 8 or 4 and 4, bring both legs down. The second set is knee bends. For the option 2, you can pull the right leg up, bend 4 times in, straighten out. This is a lot more challenging to lift one leg. So if you want to go back to your first option, you can do so. After 4, if you're doing single leg, right leg down, left leg up. 4. Listen to your body, do what feels good for you. After you finish your 8, into our pikes. So you have the option of both legs being down. Second option, right leg lifting, going up and down. And 3 and 2. And then we'll switch sides, so you're doing 4 on each side. Use your breath. 1 more. Good. Bring it all the way in, set your knees down, and take it into a little child's pose. Oh, nice work. I know that was a hard one. And you can build up to those single legs over time. I know that's challenging. All right, this would be a good time to grab water if you'd like. Really, at any point, you could just pause me and grab a drink, and that's fine. So I'm going to have a seat now facing my foot bar, and hopefully your ring's handy. You're going to grab back onto that ring. You need 1 strap. I'm going to reach around and start with my right strap, put it in my right hand, and sit up tall. So I'm holding that ring like a steering wheel. I'm going to let the strap pull me a little to the right for a twist, and I'm going to push forward, give that ring a little squeeze. So I'm doing a little chest press with a rotation. Now, like all this rotation I've been talking about, your rotation's coming from your waist and not your hips. So really ground your hips down. Keep your hips square looking forward as you try to isolate through your rib cage. Good. It doesn't have to be a death squeeze on this ring either. It's just a really light little hug, really, is what you're looking for. Do 1 more. And now what we're going to do is no twist. So this is a little more challenging because you're isolating. You're coming into the chest, pushing back. Coming into the chest and pushing. Now I'm keeping my shoulders square with my hips. Use that breath. 2 more. Last one to go. Good. Now we're not done with that side yet. You're going to take a quarter turn to the right, straddle your box, and now you've got your ring at your chest. This is going to be more abdominal work, so you're going to just do the twist. And you're going to think of that ring staying right in front of the sternum as you twist to the left and back to the center. Now I always like to have the visual of a barber pole, so as it twists around and rotates up versus twisting and rotating down. So you want to lift your heart, lift your sternum, rotate and twist up, find that length through the body. The whole spine staying as tall and long as you can get it. Good. 2 more with a twist. And then we're going to do actually the harder one second. I should have done it first, but I think you guys can do it. So the next time we're going to go straight up. So you're going to reach up and over the head. Yeah, that's hard. And back down. And we're going to do that 8 times. On the other side, if I can remember, we'll do this one first. Good. 3 more. Now, as I'm going up with my arms, my shoulders are staying down, my ribs are staying connected. Good. I've lost track, so we're just going to do 1 more. Good. And then relax. Now, put the ring to the side. You will use it in just a minute, but not right now. Okay, then you're going to come forward. As far forward as you can, because we're going to lay back on this box. And the first thing we want to do is put your right thigh into the strap. So it's going to be right at my knee. And then I'm going to put my hips at the very end of the box and lay back. So now you get a little view of my legs. On the other side, you'll see what's happening in my upper body. So my hands are behind the head, and I'm lifted into a curl position. I'm going to do a little clam. Open my knees and close. And open. And squeeze closed. So I'm trying to really isolate through that right inner thigh here, but really I'm feeling engagement and work through my entire core because this strap's trying to pull me off center and my abdominals have to just really fire to keep myself from wobbling and being pulled off of this box. Last 2. I'm going to hold the legs wide after the next one and do a little pulses with the upper body, crunching up and down and up and down. Last 2, last 1. And then bring the knees back together. Now, keep my pelvis stable. Take the right leg down like a toe tap, bring it back up. And then left leg down and bring it back up. So my goal here is stability. Try not to let the carriage move. I know that's hard, but you're trying to keep yourself still. And you're only dipping that toe down as much as you can keep your pelvis stable. So if you're finding hard to stabilize, just don't go as far. So make the range of motion work for you. You've got 4 more, and then we're going to add a little crisscross upper body, kind of from what we did from the warm-up. And that's an option as well. So the next time the right leg goes down, your right shoulder goes to the right left knee, and then you switch. So the carriage will move a little bit on one side, and it'll probably stay still on the other. But you're trying to minimize the movement as much as you can. Good. You guys are almost there. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Pull the knees into the chest. Now I like to keep my left hand behind my head and then take that strap all the way into my right hand back to tabletop. So my left hand's behind my head. My right hand has the strap. I'm in tabletop. The right arm's going to do an oblique press across the body and then back. So I'm just rotating towards the side like I was doing just a little side twist for the abs. My right shoulder's lifting and then coming back to meet the box. For a little bit more challenge, you can send the legs out and in. So when my arm comes in, I send my knees away from me. And when my arm goes out, I pull my knees back to tabletop. And I'm only doing that if I want more challenge and I can hold my stable pelvis and my stable spine. So it's just adding a little bit more work through my low abdominals. 2 more. Last one. Good job. All right, come all the way up. And then you're going to turn, quarter turn to the right, put your feet on the headrest. Now I want you to cross your straps and grab the left strap in the right hand, the right strap in the left hand. Pull your elbows into your waist, draw your shoulders back. You're going to open for an external rotation and then close. Now this exercise will build, so hopefully this does not feel too super challenging. But if it does feel challenging, that's fine, and you can stay with this. So this is your option 1. The second option is more of a 2-part exercise. So you're going to open up just like you were, and then you're going to push your knuckles to both sides of the room, pull your elbows back to your waist, and then close it all to start. So you open, you push out, elbows drive to the waist, and then you close. So it's a rotation of the shoulder, and then you hold the shoulder still. So you're working shoulder, girdle, all those rotation muscles around the shoulder, and all the posture muscles you like to work, or I like to work every day. Good. Last 3 to go, and then we'll do a little isometric hold. So next time, hold it out there, and this time you're just holding against the resistance. You're drawing your shoulders back, you're pulling your ribs in, you're lengthening the crown of the head, you're taking a really big breath. 3, 2, 1, and release. Put your straps down, just your left strap. So put that one down. Keep your right strap and grab the tape in your left hand. Now your right hand can be in front of you, and then you're just going to do a pull 1-arm row with that left arm. Now if your knees are kind of in the way and they're bothering you, you can send your feet off the reformer, and that way you don't have the strap touching the knees. Really personal preference, whatever feels good, as long as you're sitting up nice and tall. Two more. And then 1 more. Good. Now I'm going to grab the strap part because I'm going to add a second part. I'm going to bring my feet back up as well. So I'm going to do the bend, then I'm going to push the arm straight and punch it across the room. So it's a bend, punch, bend, release. And I'm grabbing the strap now because this is quite a bit more challenging. And if you feel this is still too challenging holding the strap, you can always go back to the first exercise. You're doing a really great job though. We've got 3 more, and then we'll pick up the other strap. Last 2, and 1 more. Nice work. Okay, put that strap away, pick up your left strap, put the tape in your right hand, and then bring your left arm in front. Find that posture, shoulders set down, ribs draw in. Your right arm's going to come into that bent arm row. Okay, we're doing about 8 of these, so 3 more to go. Okay, then we're going to switch to grab the strap and then do the 2-part exercise. So you're bending, punching, bring it back, and release. Now you're probably wondering what's happening with the other side. I didn't forget it. It's coming up, don't worry. We're going to kind of be doing everything we did on the other side in reverse. So that'll be fun too. Hopefully I can remember in reverse. Last 2. And 1 more to go. All right, good. You can put that strap down. Let's straddle the box, and hopefully you have your ring really handy, so pick up that ring again. And then your left hand's going to grab the strap to the left side of you, and you're going to put the ring at your sternum. And this time I promised we'll do the hard one first. So we're going to reach the arms up and over the head, and then bring the arms back down, ring to the sternum. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Good, keep my shoulders down and back, spine nice and long. This should be your last one, reaching the arms up, and then bring the arms right to the center, and we'll do the twist. So you're going to rotate to the right, and then rotate back. Twist to the right, and back. Last two. And one more. All right. We're going to lose the ring for a second because we're going to lay down and do our abdominal work because we've got to do that again. So you're going to slide as far forward as you can. Take the strap and place it on your left thigh right above the knee. When you lay down, you're going to bring your legs to tabletop, hands behind the head, lift up into that crunch. So now you might be able to see more what's happening in my upper body. I'm crunched up, I'm looking towards my belly, and on the inhale, I'm letting my knees open only, and then squeezing them back together. Good. Last two to go here. And then I'm going to hold the legs apart the next time. So hold the knees apart. Option A, hands stay behind the head. Option B, hands go up between the knees. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take that strap, place it in your, oh, never mind, don't do that. Sorry. Reverse. Keep it there. Hands behind the head, bring your knees together, and we're going to dip your left toe down and up. Hopefully I was quick enough you hadn't done it. And then the right leg down and up. Like I said, I forget sometimes, but hopefully I remember in enough time that we can even ourselves out. We want to be lopsided. Good. Bring the left leg down and up, and the right leg down and up. Just those little toe taps. Keeping my pelvis nice and still. Second option, if you choose to take it, you're going to add that upper body rotation. So the next time the left leg goes down, your left elbow goes across the body. When your right leg goes down, your right elbow goes across the body. And I probably shouldn't say elbow because we're really trying to lead with the shoulder, and you're working as hard as you can to keep your elbow back. So you're keeping your chest open, your heart lifted the whole time as you're going through. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now you can take the strap off. Sorry about that. So you put the strap in the left hand, legs in tabletop, right hand supports the head. You're going to twist across the body and bring it back. It's again a twist across and back. If you want to add those legs, they lower away from you as you come in, into tabletop as you go out. That's just going to incorporate even more low abdominal work, making it even more fun. Almost there, guys. Last 3. 2 more. Last 1. Awesome job. Help yourself all the way up. Take a quarter turn to your right. And now you're facing back to where we started. You're going to grab your ring for one more little set on this left side so we're balanced. Put the ring in your both hands. You have the strap in the left hand. We'll start with a rotation to the left, and then you rotate back, square, and reach forward. So this little rotation, and then press. So I'm keeping my hips really square, and I'm just letting my chest open, getting a really good stretch through that left side, and then working through the left obliques as I push forward. Now after 8, we're going to hold it still, and now just do the straight forward and back. Now I'm not letting my shoulders move at all. I'm keeping my shoulders and hips square right to the side of the room. I've got that left weight pulling me to the left, but I'm using my muscles on the left side to counterbalance that and try to stay square as I can for 3 and 2 and 1. Awesome job. All right, you can put that strap away. Put your ring to the side, and then I want you to put your foot bar all the way up to middle position. take your blue spring off and put your red spring on. And I like to put the middle red. When I'm just using one red, it's usually the middle. I'm gonna stand up, push my carriage back, and then step in between the spring down to the floor. Now my reformer is really high, so I actually step on a moon box, but if your reformer is low, you won't need to do that. And then I'm gonna put my left foot up against the box, bend my right knee slightly, and just start with some glute presses. So now we're back to the leg section. So you're pushing out and back in. Think of full extension with that left leg as you push and back in. Now we'll do more than 8 since we're not doing a ton of leg work. The arm work, we did quite a few exercises, but with the leg work, we're only going to be doing really this exercise for this set. But I'm going to give you 2 options. So the first option is just this, right knee's a little bent. You're sending the left leg all the way back and in. And then your next option would be to start to lift your limbs off of that foot bar. So you could start with 1, see how that feels. And then if you lift 2, it's going to take it up a whole nother notch. So now your right leg's going to have to work even more to stabilize. You've got no other points of stability down, so that right leg's got to do it all. If that's too much, put the hands back down. Oh, I'm stronger than I thought. Last 3. Last 2. And 1 more. Oh, sorry about that. Come all the way in, and we'll come all the way up. Now between sides, we're going to do some planks again. I like to work on a yellow spring. That gives me a little support, but not too much. If you feel this is too hard, you can go up to a blue spring or even a blue and a yellow spring. I want you to turn your toes to the right and then take the carriage out into a little bit of a side plank and then just do a little scoop. So you're not coming in all the way. You're going to a side plank and then just a little scoop in. Like I'm trying to take my left rib and hip and kiss them together and then bring them apart. Last 2, last 1. Now a little challenge, you're going to hold your plank, move your left hand to the center, turn towards your right, reach your right up to the arm up to the ceiling, and you're going to either hold here, option 1, option 2, you're going to thread the needle, pull it through, and bring it back. Try to bring as much weight into your feet as you can so you're not feeling too much crashing down on this wrist. 2 more to go. Nice job. Turn back to the foot bar, bring the carriage home, and we're ready for the other side. So let's put that middle red spring on, take your yellow off. You're going to push that carriage back, step into the well, onto the floor or your moon box. Left foot is up against. Never mind, I did that side before. I wouldn't want to make you do 2 sets. Now my left foot is on the box. My right foot is up against the box and the carriage, and I'm going to start pushing with that right leg. Good, getting that full extension all the way out and in. So you have 2 choices. Again, you can stay right here working that awesome glute work, holding on for stability. You can start to lift a limb. Maybe your left arm comes off the foot bar. You can try some like that. Or you can go for the whole big deal where you take both hands off. A lot of strength, a lot of power, a lot more stability and support in that left leg. Good. Give me 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Awesome job. All right, let's go ahead and take it back. I didn't forget, crazy to think, I forgot so many things in this workout, I apologize. We're gonna go to our planks again. So you're gonna come onto your yellow, take your red off, you're at 1 yellow. All right, so you'll turn your toes to the side. Go all the way up to the side plank, and then do a little lift and back. Well, I was thrown off a little because my daughter just woke up. So she's coming out here and looking at me and making faces. So I apologize, I was a little bit off of what I was doing, but I didn't forget anything, and I think we've got everything squared away. So we'll get back on track. She went back to her room. Exhaling in. Last 4. Little tiny kiss, rib to hip. Last 2. 1 more to go. Good. Take the right hand to the center, turn all the way to the side, left arm's up to the ceiling, and now we'll thread the needle and then bring it back. And thread the needle. You guys are almost done with this workout. We have 1 more little series, and then after that series, we're going to put our feet in the straps to stretch, which you don't want to miss. Or hopefully, I don't want to miss it. Last 2. 1 more to go. Awesome job. Hands down, come all the way in. Step off of the reformer. Okay, we're going to take the foot bar down, and you're going to put it on a blue spring. We're going to get into a little bit of back extension work in a few different directions. So the first thing we're going to do is face the shoulder blocks. Make sure my box is square, and I'm going to lay on my stomach. So I want my hip bones at the back of the box. So right back here is where I want my hip bones. And I'm going to take my hands and walk forward and grab the tower. Now once I've got the tower, I'm going to take my legs and reach them long. So my whole body is nice and long. Once I find that length of the body, I'm going to bend my elbows, doing a row, and then release. So we'll be doing a kind of a pulling series. So this will be pulling our body. And then in just a moment, we're going to turn around and do more of a pushing series where we're pushing the body. So your legs are really active. Squeeze your glutes, lift your legs, draw your shoulders back, lift the chest. We're going to do 2 more of those. And then release your left arm from the tower. You can put it on the box or the headrest or behind you, and then you're going to do just right arm only. Keep those legs lifted. As this gets harder, those legs start to droop down. So you want to keep those legs as high as you can. We've got 3 more to go. Engage those legs. I got to keep reminding myself too. And then we're going to switch it to the left side, and then take the right hand either onto the box, headrest, or behind you, and then bend and straighten with that left arm 8 times. Really active legs. Lift that chest. You got 2 more to go. 1 more. All right, take both hands back. Keep your elbows bent. You're just holding this isometric with the upper body. Lift your legs, squeeze your legs long. Give me some little heel beats. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let your whole back release, holding on to the tower still. Now I should have mentioned, if you don't have a tower, you can definitely hold on to these pegs, because every reformer will have the pegs, or the arms, where the arm straps are. So either one is fine, but right now I'm just using that stretch. So sorry for not letting you know that, but those are your 2 options, and you're just going to release yourself into hopefully a nice relaxing stretch. And then you can just lift the legs out of the well and just start to slide yourself home. And then even another stretch, just because for me especially, my back gets kind of tweaky with extension, so I have to hang out in the flexion for just a little bit. So I'm really tucking my tailbone, lengthening my back, and just giving those muscles an opportunity to relax after engaging. All right. And then we're going to take the box and put it onto the front. So now you have the box flush with the reformer closest to the springs. And then I'm going to take my foot bar all the way back up. Now I'm going to sit side saddle on this box. So I've got my left leg kind of in the side saddle position when my right leg's going to be straight out and my hips are square to the front. Left hand on the foot bar, right arm out to the side, and then 3 times we're just going to take a nice, wonderful mermaid stretch, just extending all the way to the foot bar and then bringing it back in. And then 2 more like that. So you're just reaching, extending, lengthening towards the foot bar, and then bringing it back. 1 more time. Exhale as you press. And then stay here. We're going to rotate the torso so you can bring the right hand to the foot bar, feel that rotation of the spine, and then rotate it back to the front. So now you're getting that twist and movement through the rib cage, rotating and then rotating back. And this will be the last one. You're going to rotate and you're going to stay there. Take both hands wide and then just give yourself a little stretch. So you're rotating the spine, you're releasing. Just for a few breaths here. And then we'll bring the left arm back to the center, rotate back to the side, take your right hand to your hip, and then lift that right leg. Now you're going to bend your left arm, bringing the elbow right to your rib cage, and then push it away. So you're working on tricep, shoulder, stability through this left arm. Your right leg, you're working on the outer thigh again. So you're working on holding that leg still. You can have the hand on the thigh for a little extra weight, or hand on the hip. Do that 2 more times, pushing that left arm nice and straight. And then next time you're going to hold the arm straight and just do little lifts. Right leg up and down, up and down. Keep that left shoulder down away from the ear. Last 2, and last 1. Good, come all the way in. Now I'm going to take it to a yellow. I've got 1 more thing on this side, I promise, and then take the blue off. So now we're at a yellow. You're not going to go as far over because we're going to do a little bit of jumping. So the farther over you are, it's going to be harder to stabilize. So I'm going to bend my left arm. I'm going to be upright a little bit for the first few, and I'm just going to push and press away. So as the moment my hand loses contact with that foot bar, all of these abdominal muscles have to hold myself so I don't topple over. So the more I'm leaning to the side, the harder it's going to be to stabilize. And I'm really letting my right foot push into that headrest for support. So if I lose that right foot, it's even harder. You might even want to try that. If you're wanting more intensity, lift that right leg, and you're going to feel that entire core have to come alive to hold you. See, my foot already went down. I knew too much. So listen to your body, as always. More isn't always better. Good. Good, everything's working here. You've got 2 more. Last one to go. All right, all right. Okay, so we're gonna come to face our foot bar. We have 1 little transitional exercise between, then we'll do the other side, and then I promise you, we are laying down to put our feet in straps. It will happen. It will happen, I promise. So your hips are at the edge. You're gonna put a red spring on. So you are red and yellow springs. Hands are gonna be to the foot bar, and then your legs are gonna maneuver way out, nice and long, and we're gonna do a push. So now we're pushing the carriage. And we're on a short box, so we have less support, which means this red and yellow may be too intense. So if that's the case, take off the yellow, because I'm balancing on keeping my glutes engaged, keeping my legs long, trying to hold myself on this little tiny box as I'm pushing the arms out and in. Do that 2 more times. And 1 more time. Good, now come in. I'll set my legs down for rest. Put a blue spring on, take your red and your yellow off. And now I'm sliding my hips to the very front of the box. And then I'm going to go out. So now you notice my hips are at the front of the box instead of the back of the box. I'm going to get myself a little extension, so be very careful with this. I'm going to drop my chest into the springs, and if my back can handle it, I'm going to do a little lift, kind of a swan dive. I'm going to lift my legs as high as comfortable and let my chest just sink down, really engaging the entire back body to do this. And then I'm going to let my legs come down. I'm going to lift my chest and come up into a little swan dive. And I got to do that again. So I'm going to lower my chest, engage my glutes, lift my legs, really strong. You have to really, really strengthen and powerhouse those legs. So I'm trying to push my legs back, drop my chest forward, but not let my rib cage come apart. And then we're going to do one more, lifting the chest. And then here's our last one. So if you need to leap the legs down, you're going to be more like this with the legs down. If you can, it's going to require a lot of low back and strength. So don't feel that your legs have to go so high. You're just going as high as comfortable, finding that stretch, finding that strength through the back. And then you're going to come all the way up and do one more swan dive, lifting the chest, drawing the shoulders back, reaching the heart forward. Carriage can come all the way into the bumper. And then you're going to release. Slide yourself back, come onto the carriage, put your elbows in the box, and do that little shell stretch. Just let your low back relax and lengthen back up, recover a little bit from that extension. All right, let's finish up on our other side. So you are on a blue spring, that's where you're going to stay. You're going to turn quarter turn to your left. Side saddle with the right leg, left leg reaching long onto the headrest. Right hand is on the foot bar, left arm is out with the palm up. You're going to push all the way out into that lovely mermaid stretch. So if you can push down with your left leg, reach out through your left arm, make this as an active stretch as you can, and then bring it back up. We'll do that 2 more times. So pushing that left leg down, reaching that left arm up, extending the spine, and then bringing it back up. This will be your last one, and this one will hold over and get a little bit of movement through the torso. So you're going to hold it over, and then you're going to rotate, tap the left fingers down to the bar, and then rotate and bring it back up. And rotate down, and rotate up. This will be the last one. Rotate down, and rotate up. And then let's go into our rotation one more time, just so that we can move the right arm over, drop the chest, and just feel that whole side body melt. Hopefully, I feel like I'm melting. Bring the right hand back to the center, turn back to the front, come all the way up. Now this is where we're going to add that leg lift, and we're going to push out with that right. So the left leg is lifted, and you're bringing that right arm straight, and then elbow right into the waist, and then pushing it out and into the waist. Your left hand can be pushing down into that leg for a little extra work, or you can have the left hand to the hip. As long as your shoulders are stacked, you're completely facing the side, your hips are stacked, neck is a natural extension of the spine. Just 2 more to go with this, and then we'll again hold it with the arms straight and do those 8 little leg lifts. So now you're going to hold the arms straight, take the left leg up and down, and up and down. Almost there. Last 2. And last 1. Awesome job. Come all the way in. Now, I like to do the jumping on a yellow. I feel that's easier on my wrist and just makes the exercise more doable. You could stay on a blue if you'd like, but I'm on a yellow. I'm not going to be leaning as far because I'm going to test the waters first. Do a little jump and back. Breath is so important here. You've got to use the breath so that you're not toppling towards the right. As I get more comfortable, you notice I'm going to lean a little bit more to the foot bar, make it a little bit more challenging. And if I wanted to make it super challenging, I could even lift the left leg. So now anytime I'm decreasing my base of support, I'm incorporating more small muscles in my body having to do the work since I have got less support from the floor or whatever surface I'm holding on to. You guys are doing great. 3 more to go. 1 more. And come all the way in and rest. All right. Come all the way up. We've made it. I promised you. We're going to our feet and straps. So you can put the box anywhere. You don't need that anymore. We're going to set it off to the side. We're going to put it on a red and a blue. So put a red on. Center red is my preferred red. And then your blue. So you have 1 red, 1 blue. Take your yellow off. Go ahead and lie all the way down. And you're going to push all the way out with both your feet. Take your right foot into the right strap. Take your left foot into the left strap. And then come into tabletop. So our tailbone's firmly rooted. I have that little natural curve in my low back. Arms are resting to the sides. And you're just going to start pushing out and back into the tabletop. And I just realized this is the first time we're laying down. So my clients always get anxious when I do a whole class of not lying down, but I do promise that we will always lie down and put our feet in straps. So even if our lying down is 5 minutes, we get to lay down at least a little bit. But it is so important to work that body in so many different directions. Kneeling, standing, laying, side lying, move the spine in so many directions. So I try not to lay down too much in the class because I want to mimic as much real life activity as I can. And most of the movements we do during the day aren't laying down. We're either sitting, standing, kneeling, those things. But laying down does feel good, so I like to throw that in as well. Next time your legs are straight, we're going to keep them straight, keep the big toes touching. We'll just work in parallel today, and then inhale, the legs go up. Now you're going up as high as you can without letting your tailbone come down. So the minute I tuck and feel my low back go, I've kind of lost the stretch a little bit. So I'm letting my tailbone root down to the carriage. That's the high position. And then I'm coming down till I feel I can still keep everything engaged through the abdominals. If I go too far and my ribs start to pop, I've kind of lost that stretch as well. So the whole point is stability from the head to the hips as you move through the legs. Now, having said that, sometimes I do work legs and straps for more of a low back stretch, which we'll do in a minute, and I will let you lift your hips. But for right now, I want you to feel your stretch in the hamstrings. And in order to feel a stretch in the hamstrings, you've got to root your hips down and feel that counterbalance of the legs going up. So you've got something to stretch away from. So the next time I'm going to let you lift your hips if you like and feel your low back take a little stretch, and then let your hips go down and then let your legs push out. So just notice the difference of that stretch. You might feel, at least for me, I feel more low back stretching and releasing. I also get the hamstrings as you go up, but then once you lift your hips, you send it more into your back, which is still a really good stretch as well. Just to know the difference. They're both great. And just 2 more like that. Next time the legs come down, I want you to circle them out and around, all the way up to your top. And then we'll go down the midline and do that again. And when I do legs and straps at the end of a class, I really like to work on range of motion. So I'm not working as much stability. I'm just letting my muscles find their full range of motion. They're nice and warmed up. This is when we're gaining flexibility. At the end of the workout, our muscles are loose. They're more pliable. So you can challenge your range of motion a little bit here. Just do that one more time. And then when you get to the top, we're going to reverse the direction of that circle, going out, squeezing down, and then coming back up. This is a little more challenging direction, so you're working against the resistance with the legs wide. So you're still getting a good stretch, but it's a little bit more work on the inner thighs. And do that one more time. And then we'll finish by bringing the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug, and then if it feels good for you, you can let your knees go wide into a butterfly. I like to push my elbows into the knees, letting them go out even farther, and then pull the straps towards me, so I'm getting a little active stretch. And some of you may even feel comfortable bringing your heels closer to your groin, almost in like a supine butterfly stretch. Now that's not going to feel good for everyone, so if that does not work, bring it back to your first stretch. I just want you to take a few deep breaths here to finish. Taking the biggest inhale you possibly can take, filling the lungs, and then just let it all go. And do that one more time. Nice, big, deep inhale. And then let it all go. When you're ready, you can start to bring the legs in. Take the feet out of the straps, put the feet back on the foot bar, hang the straps up. Give yourself a little hug. So let your knees come into the chest and just start to roll your spine side to side, just massaging that back. And getting off the reformer is just as important as all the exercises we've been doing. So when you're coming off the reformer, make sure you roll over to the side. Use one arm on the shoulder block to help you up, and then come all the way up to seated. You did an amazing job. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was great, and I hope to see you